You've been looking back on the L.A. riots. I had a conversation with the L.A. station last week about that. What did we learn?
What have we learned? I would say almost nothing. In the 25
Whoa.
years since, well, you
That's
keep seeing the
frightening.
same sort of story. It's actually remarkable. I was writing about 5 documentaries. There are 5 documentaries, a one-man show from Spike Lee, and there's so much material out there now on the riots and the 25th anniversary. And the most striking thing is almost like the same exact stories happen over and over again in black neighborhoods. When we're looking at Black Lives Matter, we're looking at the same type of stuff where you got a confluence of both private citizens' violence against black people, and you got that combination of that with police violence against black people. And those tend to produce unrest. And the only difference I would say now is that the cities are constructed a little bit differently, and they don't lend themselves to the same kind of sustained protests and rioting that happened 25 years ago.
But
Yeah.
so the same incidences of police brutality or police violence are still taking place. You're saying with regularity,
Oh yeah, we
but
just
not
had
generating the same response. Well, Ferguson did, obviously.
Ferguson
I
did.
mean, not as bad, perhaps. But
Ferguson did. I think Baltimore. I think
Baltimore.
Charlotte actually was on the verge of becoming that type.
Yeah.
And that wasn't that long ago. And now we have, I think it's just in the news now. What was it? Dallas. A young man was shot in the back of the head by police. They said he had his car in reverse, and was going to endanger them. And he was actually driving forward.
Mm-hmm.
They shot him while he was driving away, killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one, I haven't heard much about that, but the headline I heard was the police department said that the stories of the police officers cannot be justified in any way.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah. And I think now, you've got a president promising to bring back law and order. You have Jeff Sessions saying much more than that. I do not think they have learned what happened from the riots, and they are recreating the conditions almost exactly if you look at the lead up.
well, Jeff Sessions is saying any all these attempts to examine police community relations or examine police departments and their policies and their inherent racism in some cases, they ought to be just turned back, right? Abandoned, dropped.
Yeah, even if you believe those efforts were half-hearted, as I do, if you believe they were a little bit of BS, they were the main way communities were sort of diffusing all that energy, all the decades of grievances from black people against the police. And even if you don't think they were going to lead to anything, even if you think the move to cameras was actually going to empower police as opposed to people, those were things that had been put in place to stop people to say, look, we're working on this.
Right.
Now Jeff Sessions says, oh, no, we're not working on this. We're actually going to punish police departments who are trying to implement criminal justice. We're going to review all these consent decrees. And now what do the people have? Nothing.
To what extent has this made a difference?
Oh, yeah. So phones.
I'm picking up my iPhone because, for example, just not sort of related, but these incidents of the guy getting dragged off the plane, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, today, people automatically, right, pick up their cell phone right away and start recording. And same thing when people see a police officer, beating up on somebody, pick up their phone and start recording. So, and that wasn't around in Rodney. Of course, we did have a video of Rodney King, which is one reason it went national. The guy but it wasn't. I don't think it was a cell phone. But anyway.
It wasn't a cell phone, but actually, I would say those are the two things that make the riots the most analogous things to today. They were set off by two videotape incidents. One was Rodney King's beating, which was on a couple different angles, and the other was Latasha Harlan's being shot and killed by the Korean shop owner. Those were both on video, and those were some of the first times we had those type of killings, beatings. They said that happened every day.
Yes, yeah,
every day in L.A. and every day in South Central, people got beat by the police. That was the first time we had it on video, and I think in one of the documentaries by John Ridley, they say there's a person, one of the LA4, I think, who says, we had it on video. We thought it was going to change something. It didn't. And that's sort of the hopeless take on today. We have so many killings now, almost every killing by police is on somebody's video by virtue of body cams now and car cameras, and still they don't spur any actual change among police. Even since Ferguson, you look at the year-over-year numbers of people killed by police, they have not decreased. Yeah.
So no, that is really scary and frightening. That as a nation we haven't learned anything.
I think we're learning, and I think people are learning new ways to ignore it, though, at the same time. Yeah, I think it's almost incontrovertible at this point that police are more violent and brutal to black people. That's something that people can't run away from. That's something even the staunchest anti-reform people will admit now. But now they have so many more justifications for, and there's almost an intellectual complex developed around continuing that. And it's getting more and more robust. You see Sessions now saying, look, you see the whole specter of crime being raised. They were I imagine they popped champagne the night they got the crime stats saying that crimes actually went up. Like they need those justifications.
Is the problem you hear all about this? We need better training, or is the problem the kind of people who want to go into law enforcement?
Well, I mean,
like almost a power trip, and
that's one of the issues. Yeah, you have this happened in the LA riots too. You have a completely militarized police presence, and they recruit the same way the Marines recruit, right? They recruit. They say, look, you're gonna get out there, you're gonna go bust down some doors and shoot people. Those are If you've seen a police recruitment video in 2017, they are terrifying, and they really pick off working class white folks who have no other avenues to gain both respect and money, and they're looking for both of them. And they say, look, basically the videos of them going to shoot and beat up black people, and they have little training paper targets that are black suspects, and they train them, and all the people that they do their little training tours, they go and stop and harass some black kids. You build that.
But what about the black officers or the Latino officers?
Same thing.
Same mentality?
Well, you got them also looking, and it's the same complex almost amplified. People who've never been respected in their lives. People who are always at the lower end of the power scheme when it comes to, being harassed, being stopped. And you give them a baton. You give them a gun, right? And you also give them targets who are black. You give them, you train them almost exclusively on people who are black. What are they going to do?
But there must be, and there are, certainly, good people who just they see it as a form of public service, just like some people see teaching. Teaching is a form of public service. Police officers is a form of public service. And they're in there for the right reasons to do the right thing and to really build a better community. Oh, yeah. What happens to those people?
I'd say there's plenty of people in there who are in they're in there for the right reasons, and they're pillars of their communities. You can call. There's cops you can call who are going to come over, and they're going to help you out. They're going to walk you across the street. Yeah. But I think what happens is,
do they outnumber the others?
I'm not sure if it's a numbers game, because it doesn't. The numbers don't matter when the system is built in a way to cover up the bad incidents. On a day-to-day basis, cops don't kill people, right? A cop is not like you're running into almost the extreme if you meet a cop who's actually killed people now. But still, when their entire code, when their unions, when the law is built to protect the ones who do kill, the ones who do act unjustly, it sort of renders all the service by the good ones moot.
Mm-hmm.